Y'all see? Y'all see? And so overall chat, what y'all think happened? Let's have a debate. I might drop a link in.
Sideline footage from an Indiana Fever game has generated considerable debate around Caitlin Clark's body language during a moment when head coach Stephanie Whites was addressing the team. The clip, which circulated widely, shows Clark appearing disengaged from the conversation, prompting divided reactions about what was actually taking place. Two distinct interpretations have emerged. The first centers on Clark's well-documented illness during that game.
Let's have a debate. I might drop a link in the chat. I'm going to drop a link, and I want y'all to, I want somebody to come on here. Because I think this is just, I think she possibly is ignoring her. I think there is a strong possibility that could be the case. Now, granted, she was sick.
Multiple sources confirmed she had been vomiting before and during the contest, reportedly after consuming applesauce that did not sit well, which then triggered further nausea. Clark addressed the situation directly in post-game remarks, attributing the illness to what she had eaten pregame. Given those circumstances, the argument that she was simply too physically compromised to track a sideline conversation has genuine merit. Playing through that level of physical distress warranted recognition on its own, regardless of the sideline optics.
Sick. She was very much sick last night. She was very much sick. Synced her throwing up. Put the footage out. Synced her throwing up. I got somebody right here. Let me bring him on. Hello?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Hey, how are you, man? I just
hold on for a minute. Let me turn my TV down.
Yep, the show was I finna say.
The second interpretation reads the moment as intentional distance. With Clark mentally checked out from what White was saying, a posture some viewers described as visibly tuned out rather than merely unwell. That reading gained traction in certain circles, though others pushed back and suggested the more straightforward explanation, physical illness, was being overlooked in favor of a more dramatic narrative. A third perspective offered, during discussion of the footage, proposed that Clark may simply have been lost in thought, mentally somewhere else during a brief sideline exchange, without any deliberate intent behind the disconnect. That framing positioned the moment as far less significant than either of the more charged interpretations.
I'm finna say.
Hold on for 1 second.
All right.
All right, you there, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, it could go either way. I don't really know if she wasn't ignoring her. I just think we all know that she was sick that game. She had a real bad migraine.
Yeah.
And she had already thrown up a couple of times in the back, not in the back.
The footage also drew attention to broader officiating concerns surrounding Clark throughout the game. Several sequences showed opposing defenders making contact with Clark's ribs and body without foul calls being issued. In one instance, a defender was shown closing at an aggressive angle that nearly created a collision with Aaliyah Boston in the process of pursuing Clark. Another sequence captured what appeared to be contact on a drive with no whistle.
Not in the back, but behind the bench.
Right,
so
right.
She might just be sick, man. And just not all there at that time. Because when you get a really bad migraine and it makes you throw up, A lot of things could happen, man. So I don't know. I think she was just sick.
She very much could be sick. I'm not ruling that's out. I have the footage, the only footage in the world of what happened at halftime.
The most discussed call came on Clark's third foul, which replays suggested involved minimal to no actual contact. Yet the foul stood. Clark visibly indicated to the bench that she wanted the play challenged. No challenge was issued. Stephanie White's reluctance to use the challenge on calls involving Clark has become a recurring point of frustration, particularly in situations where the call carries foul trouble implications.
Halftime. I'm about to play it for you real quick because I'm not finna rule out that she's not sick. Because I know for a fact that she was.
Right. It could be anything, but that's what I'm guessing.
Yeah. And so I'm not going to rule that out, that she's not sick. And so let me play this clip for you real quick.
Let me ask.
The third foul was one such moment, and the decision not to contest it drew pointed criticism from those following the game closely. Monique Billings drew attention for her physical presence throughout the contest, both as a screener and as a player who struggled with ball security on at least one notable possession where a catchable pass was not secured. The physicality directed at Clark was a theme across multiple possessions, with defenders consistently making body contact that went unaddressed by officials. The Fever's internal dynamics, the officiating environment Clark operates in, and the intense scrutiny that follows every moment involving the team are all converging factors that have made even routine sideline interactions into subjects of extended analysis.
This clip for you real
Let me
quick.
ask you a question, man. What is your take on it? What do you think? What do you think was going on?
At that exact moment,
Yep.
I think Caitlin Clark was thinking about something.
You think she was what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I think she was just thinking about something. I think she was just thinking about something
Right.
that was not interesting to what Stephanie White was saying. She was just thinking about something. You know, like you just find yourself just standing there.
The illness explanation for the halftime footage remains the most grounded reading of the situation, though the surrounding context of roster tensions and coaching communication has kept alternative interpretations alive. 0.79 million viewers. The numbers shattered previous records and arrived at a moment when many had begun questioning whether interest in the league was fading. The game centered on the Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese storyline, which has become one of the biggest draws in women's basketball.
Standing there thinking, I believe she was thinking about something.
So you don't think it was intentional? You just think she was in another world?
She was possibly in another
Okay.
world.
All right.
But I want to leave that up to y'all. As if she was sick, because
Fever halftime.
I caught a lot of flack
Rolling.
for this video right here. But I wanted to show this video to give somewhat of a context as
critics had suggested the momentum around Clark was slowed down, and that fan engagement was beginning to drop off. Those arguments took a significant hit with the release of the viewership data. Reactions to the broadcast itself were more divided.
Obviously, going to the game, being in the arena, hearing the crowd and everything plays a different factor from you sitting at home and watching it on your television. But let's pull up this news that has come out because the world is reacting to it. And it's being reported that the WNBA Commissioner Cup Fever vs. Dream Commissioner Cup garnered 10.79 million viewers, the most watched WNBA game in history. This is catastrophic big news for the
A large portion of the audience found the game underwhelming, raising concerns about the format and the quality of play on the floor. Stephanie White drew heavy criticism, with many viewers feeling the approach failed to put together anything worth watching. Clark was visibly dealing with some physical discomfort during the contest and came out of the gate sluggishly.
Is catastrophic big news for the W, man. Now, I don't know what network that the game came on because I was there, but I do know there was a lot of fans there. Some people made a big thing with it being Pride Night. Now, when I first got to Arena, I did not think it was going to be that many fans there because within, I would say, 5 minutes of the game starting, it looked pretty damn empty. Now, once the game actually got going, Caitlyn came out. It was just a totally different vibe. But kudos to the WNBA. Definitely kudos.
Despite that, the overall product inside the arena had a different energy than what was being picked up on television. Crowd noise, live atmosphere, and being physically present in the building shifts the experience considerably compared to watching from home, and those in attendance generally.
But kudos to the WNBA. Definitely kudos to the Fever, the most watched game ever. And y'all already know. Here's some footage from the game. Let's roll it. When the Fever win this game, it's going to be because of Kelsey Mitchell's performance. Just overall, this game.
Kelsey Mitchell stood out as one of the primary reasons the Fever were able to compete, putting together a performance that carried much of the offensive load. Alicia, Gray, and other contributors rotated through meaningful minutes on both sides. Late in the game, Clark took a hard hit to the face, grabbing at her mouth after the contact.
All right, Fever fans.
The moment drew sharp reactions from those watching courtside and became one of the more talked about plays of the night. 79 million viewer figure stands as a landmark number for the league, regardless of how the game itself is remembered. It confirmed that the audience is still there, still watching, and still tuning in at historic levels when the matchup is right.
Hey, shout out to Ben Daniel, bro. He been trying to tell me, bro.
Foul, Atlanta. 0-0 for Nas Hillman. First, second. Team's third. Back in for the Dream, number 15, Alicia Gray. Back in for your Beavers, number 3, Reagan Johnson.